Good Sunday morning from Stockholm. Yeah, still in Stockholm. It looks like traveling and is hasn't resumed, and yeah, clients are still yeah avoiding any real-time space meetings and so on. So the consulting business is rather still, but not the training and workshops business. So I am now preparing a long series of workshops, 5 times 4 hours, that will begin on Friday. I mean, will begin on Friday, and I will try to give an overall picture of my experience and my work and what I use and so on. It will be in Spanish. It's already full, no? And I am very surprised by the interest. But what I wanted to share today is one aspect that I will speak about during this training, and it's the issue of powerful questions. I see that and hear more and more people speaking more and more often about the art of posing powerful questions. And I have participated in workshops in which I have seen practitioners doing that, what they believed were powerful questions. In my experience, or the way I experienced what they were doing, is some kind of magic thinking. Thinking that the question itself does the magic, carries the power in itself. And then I began to, when I saw that, I said, what's wrong here? There's something that is wrong. And nothing wrong with the question, but it's completely out of context. It's just like from a book of recipes, no? And then I remember in the 80s, in my basic training as a consultant, it was completely forbidden to ask questions. We were trained in making observations and sharing our observations, no? And not even sharing hypotheses, no? I think that was a very radical approach when I look at it from now, and how to train ourselves into just observing and sharing our observations. Not only observations about what was going on in the client system or the system we wanted to influence, but also what was happening in the relationship between us and that system and in ourselves when we were in contact with that system. Just sharing observations. What it's a little bit like what Nora Bateson calls nowadays warm data, no? Just share what's going on and how you perceive reality, and then let the system make its own mind. So when I'm trying to structure this art, this way of working, to teach it, I am thinking of doing it like this, Okay. We need to train ourselves in observation, and observation comes from two attitudes. One is the awareness, just be present and let's see what catches your attention. And then attention is that when something has caught your attention, then follow that, your energy, your interest, and share that, no? That can be even sharing that I am bored. There's nothing that catches my attention and that engages me in this setting. Am I the only one? Well, there you're asking a question also, no? But so, well, as you see, it's difficult not to ask questions. But the interesting thing is, how can you share? For example, in a situation like I'm bored, there's nothing that catches my attention, and then let's see what happens. Because after having gathered different observations and different observations and shared some statements about how you feel about the situation or how you are perceiving the situation, then you can begin to formulate hypotheses, and you can co-formulate them based on the data that everybody has shared. Or just on your own. And then you can begin to share your hypotheses, knowing that they are just hypotheses about what's going on. And last, then you ask questions, because every question is always based on a hypothesis, whether you are aware of it or not. So in some way it's much more honest to share your hypothesis and then ask a question than just going through to the question. And of course, God forbid, to come with a recommendation what to do. There are some exceptions to that. No? So the sequence would be, if you make a question, then go backwards and share the hypothesis that you are testing, and even more backwards, what's the data, both warm and cold data, wet and dry data, in which your hypothesis is based. No? Or the other way around, you share the data, your observations of both warm and cold data, and then let's see what happens, what hypotheses emerge from that sharing. Well, this is the way I am thinking and nowadays about this, I would say, pandemic of powerful questions, no? Because in a way it's a pandemic. It's infecting everything without any base, or with very little base in what's behind each of the questions, and very little transparency. Okay, have a nice week. Goodbye.